Hey guys, welcome to part three of our surprise part three of our developer Q&A for one of the Steam events, and this Steam event is the Steam Remote Play Anywhere Together. But welcome. My name is Logan Jensen. I am the head of marketing, PR, and all that here for Circene Studios.
I'm Shane Helms, the director.
Oh, and then I'm supposed to talk now. Okay, I'm Jas, the lead artist and animator, and there's a bit of delay because I'm coming from Japan. I live in Japan. Yes.
Yep. So that's our artist who, yes, he does reside in Japan. So there will be a little bit of a delay between him talking and all that. So bear with us on that. And then we do have a big old "Be Right Back" sign. Our one of our developers, um, Sean Cornett, is actually also in Japan currently. So he is unable to at least join us live, but we know that he is having a lot more fun than we are here in Kansas City. So we are definitely jealous.
Yep.
But anywho, we are here to kind of just, we're going to be playing Kansai Fighter. We're going to be, if you guys want to join us again, our demo is currently live on our Steam page, which if you're watching us on there, welcome. You can click the download link below. We're going to be doing some online multiplayer later, and you can go ahead and fight one of us. I think that's pretty much all I have to really say before we jump in. But again, thanks for joining us. But let's go ahead and switch over to just a little bit of gameplay. Oh,
Yep.
no. Let me just fix that real quick.
No gameplay?
So,
there's gameplay.
But yeah, if you have, if you've seen our Q&As previously, we did two developer Q&As for Steam Next Fest. There's another fest going on right now, which again is the Steam Remote Play Together Anywhere. And it's an event that's kind of geared more towards, you being able to do a remote play session with one of your friends. And again, our game, you're allowed to, you can do that. Yeah. So if you want to just remote into one of your friends and, fight each other, you can do it by all means. And also, please join our Discord. It is again on our Steam page. It's also on our Twitter page, our Instagram, as well as our Facebook. So please follow us there as well. But looks like we are playing just a traditional kind of arcade mode. Who are we playing with as today?
I'm trying my hand at Kenta.
Kenta.
Yep.
And who is Kenta in our game?
So Kenta is sort of our more tanky brawler character. He has a lot of strong hitting attacks for close range normals, but he's also got a couple other tricks up his sleeve with some range attacks that he can leverage. Let me see if I can pull off any of them here. If I'm gonna,
oh, you almost got.
It's blocked.
There we go.
And you're fighting Yuraku. Why don't you tell us a little bit?
Yeah. So Yuraku is sort of a bit of a trap or lure character. She's got a couple different techniques where she'll sort of trick the opponent into some pretty broad hitting attacks, or she has her utility maneuver that allows her to regain some health if the enemy is foolish enough to hit her. Some stage traps she can lay down. So she has a pretty interesting fighting style. A lot of her specials also consume charge. So for her to get access to her special attack is a little trickier than some other characters. But yeah.
So what was the So Jas, in regards to Yuraku, being our lead artist, kind of what was your inspiration in her design?
Her design, essentially just, uh, uh, sorry, I just woke up. I have a lot of friends in the fashion industry and in Kansas City, and one of the friends, I wanted to kind of base a character based on her hairstyle and fashion stuff. So that was the visual design behind it, and from our story, maybe Shane can better explain, but she comes from more of like sensual side of our main character Ayuma's personality. So
Yep.
just try to
Yeah.
combine those. Yeah.
Yep.
Out of curiosity, because I have, I've known about kind of your inspiration for Yuraku in regards to one of your friends here. Did you base any of your other characters off of anybody that you know, or like the art, the entire look?
Uh, I think that was the only one. The rest were just imagination. Yeah.
Just ones in your old noodle.
Ah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they look great nonetheless. So, but
Most of the character designs are coming from maybe kind of a generic basis in the fighting world, and so I always wanted to think like, how can I make a small twist on these tropes, if you would.
yeah,
So I would, for each character, I would just try to make something that was off, I guess, or different. Yeah. So
well, and we have gotten definitely several bit of praise on the art style for this game, and we have even got to walk away with a little award from one of the indie pop cons that we went to a few years ago.
yeah, that was
So,
really exciting.
oosh,
Nice.
chest bump. But so let's see. So we've done a few of these. We have had questions based on, are we looking at bringing this to other platforms? So currently, this is available as a demo on Steam and then also in early access on the Google Play Store. So this is a mobile running game as well. You can play this game on your phone using the touchscreen or just using a Bluetooth controller.
Yep.
But we have designed, in fact, if you look on the bottom of the screen, those black bars at the bottom, those are where the touch controls are on touch devices. So I guess I don't want to say maybe not mobile, but pretty much
any touch device, really.
We do have plans to bring it on iOS eventually. So for those of you who have iOS, look forward to that. And then there's been talks of people wanting us to put it on, obviously, on consoles, and we would love to do that. It's just we're a small team, and we're working on a few things at a time. So, but yeah, we're looking at the console route. I think we've talked about previously just how our game is designed because everything that we do in regards to like the engine and our tool sets are all in-house, so we're not using Unity or Unreal Engine or Godot or GameMaker or anything like that. But I think it was the process to get it on not Windows because it's going to be on that, but
desktop.
Yeah. Should be, or is going to be pretty.
Oh
pretty
yeah.
Simple.
Yep.
Number one comment: are you fighting on a bird?
I am.
And who is this bird?
Yeah. So this is Baku. He is Kyoki's companion. He's a shape-shifting or a size-shifting bird. So he has the ability to go to his full size and fly around the celestial city where Kyoki's from. But he also can kind of condense down into a little bird that kind of follows her around, sits on her shoulder for easier portability. So.
And then, it's
a double match.
Yep. But what is it? Oh my goodness! I was gonna say something, but I forgot because I got. So we talked about platforms. Another question was cost. So you can actually get it on early access on Android right now.
Yep.
For $4.99, and then you'll get access to the early access, and then every single time that we come out with new versions, you'll get that until the full release game. And it'll be pretty much the full release game at that point. And then we don't, because our game is currently on demo on Steam. There is not a price for it, so it is a free demo. Which again, click below where it says download demo and go ahead and give our chat give our game a try. But we are currently kind of looking at potentially a $14.99 price on Steam.
Yep.
But that is not set in stone, so don't hold me to that right now.
Yep.
But that is kind of what we're looking at right now.
And we are looking at some different features and things that might be exclusive to the Steam edition to help add some of the value there. Honestly, we believe it is a $14.99 game. It's just on the mobile marketplace. That market's very different, and we kind of have to be cognizant of what the norm is there. But we have some ideas for some features that might be exclusive to this edition that'll help add a little bit of value and some nice extras in there. So
yeah, and I mean, what you're
Looks
getting
like
out of
you lost.
I did.
Yeah, you lost against yourself.
I know.
How could you? I can't believe you've done this. But speaking of value and kind of what you're getting, so if you haven't joined any of the previous Q&As, or if you've never seen one of our streams before, first off, welcome.
Yeah.
But secondly, kind of just what is Kansai Fighter? What am I getting with this game? So, Kansai Fighter is a kind of like traditional 90s style side fighter, as you can see. Whoops. My bad if that was really loud. Side fighter that you can see here. We'll have 10 total characters to play with. We have 8 core characters and then 2 boss characters that you can play as once you beat the main story. The main story consists of our main protagonist, Yumu Tsuburaya, kind of gets into a coma, and he's kind of getting all of his mind's kind of going into complete and utter chaos, and every little bit of Iyumu's personality kind of comes out and is represented by each of our fighters. So we have people who represent things like pain, sorrow, happiness, pleasure, wisdom, courage. So each of these characters kind of represent that. So Kenta, for example, is our one that represents
Rage.
Rage. There we
Yep.
go.
Rage.
I always want to say like anger.
I mean, yeah, rage, anger.
But so each characters kind of have that story. You get to play through each of them and experience each of their stories in the main story. Our game is going to have a soundtrack of almost 60 tracks.
Oh my gosh!
Tracks.
I was trying to get just a little bit more charge to go out on a super on this one, and I got too greedy, and it cost me the match. But I'm close. Let's see if I can ride this out.
I won't.
Yeah,
I won't
because I want to
watch.
see some multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then our game also will have a different traditional kind of arcade stack. So right now the demo has just a short stack,
Ooh.
which is 3
Ooh.
or 4 characters that you can fight
Oh,
against.
nice.
But we also have a medium and large stack as well. So if you want to go against the whole roster, you can do that as well. We will have online multiplayer, whether that is online, you can do local online, so within like the same house. You want to, play against a friend. Let's say you have your phone or potentially a Steam Deck, and your friend is playing on the PC or any other devices that I just said. You guys can do that. And then there's also
Yeah,
local multiplayer.
I'm
as
excited about that. Could you show us how to do the multiplayer?
Well. Sure,
Yeah. Do you want to hop in?
sure.
There's like 2 different ways, right?
Yeah. So if you go into the versus menu, there's a couple different modes that we have available here. Player multiplayer lets you and a friend locally share the screen to play versus. So this is where, if you're joining for remote play together, you can go in here and hop in a remote play session with a friend or just locally. Network is where you can get to the online modes, and CPU allows you to kind of spar off with a CPU fighter. And then within the network mode, you can either do local matches. So this would be you and a friend on your own 2 devices on the same local network, or online. You can join up with a random opponent that's currently seeking online. Or if you have a friend that's playing the demo and you want to play online with them directly, you can send them an invite through the Steam friends list. So lots of different ways to connect and play together. But yeah, we'll hop into an online match here.
Yep. So I'm also going to be looking for a match. I am currently on a Steam Deck. This is just the Steam Deck LCD. So this is just one of the standard ones. But I will say, if you do have a Steam Deck OLED, this game looks absolutely beautiful on there. But
And you
speaking
can
of-
play online with the demo,
Yeah.
Yep.
like for free?
Yep.
For free. That's free 99.
Sweet.
Free 99. Really?
You've never heard that? Welcome to 2024. I'm glad that I could educate you.
Oh my gosh.
So we talked about a little bit of what each of our characters represent. So before I mentioned Kenta represents kind of rage or anger, and so Kyoki's are kind of our fast, nimble. She represents kind of joyfulness and glee.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the thing about Kenta. Like, his hits are strong. So, like, he can take a bit of a
yeah.
beating, and he is slow, but when he lands those blows, they hurt.
Oh no.
Oh, nice block.
Oh. Logan's like actually concentrating on
Yeah.
playing now.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
I would do commentary, but I'd go 4-second delay.
Yeah, the let's see, but again, for those of you who are joining, this is Kansoi Fighter. This is our 2D kind of animated fighting game, Side Fighter, that you are currently seeing. Me and our game director, Shane, are currently playing in an online match, and I just lost. So
I did get a chance to warm up with an arcade stack before we did this, so
sure. Let's go with that. I mean, I will say that maybe Kyoki is not my strongest fighter that I'm good with, but maybe we'll try another one. Oh no.
I saw a question because we're on so many different platforms. For you personally, what's your favorite way to play, like control wise?
For me, it's tough. Like, on the one hand, I think the control scheme that we've built kind of from scratch on touch devices is just really unparalleled. As far as like general though, I have to say I think the deck is growing on me as like my preferred way to play.
Nice.
It's just the form factor suits the game very well, and the control it looks really good. The control schemes just work out of the box. Yeah, it's definitely grown on me since we've got it up and running on there.
I think for me, I would.
What's it like to play a fighter on a Steam Deck?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically it to me would feel like if you broke a Xbox controller in half and
just smash it right in the middle. Oh,
and then put a screen on it. That's to me what it is. And we all know that Xbox controllers are the elite of controllers.
Okay.
Some opinions being slung about here.
Oh no. So
how about you, Logan?
I
interrupted you.
No, you're good. I just wanted to say that because I know that you're a PlayStation guy. But I mean, I will admit I am too. Don't let my wearing an Xbox shirt fool you. I'm an all-around kind of console owner.
Yeah.
But no, I think for me, my favorite for sure is probably our mobile controls, because they just work really well, and we spent a lot of time kind of getting it kind of perfected. And oh no, okay, so here's a prime example. She is invisible on my screen, so I do not see Yuraku on my end.
Dang it!
Other than trying to, there we go. Other than looking at the screen next to me if I wanted to cheat. But that's Yuraku's kind of super special, is she kind of goes invisible, and then I cannot see her. She does more damage, but she also takes more damage. I
caught like the very tip of that. I'm just gonna kick you from the corner.
Just poking him.
All right, do or die.
Oh, that's smart. Oh.
Right over the fence.
Yeah, I have to say the mobile version is my favorite as well. I'm not like very good with tapping, and so like we have a swiping mechanic on the mobile that helps for doing dashes and stronger versions of attacks that I really like. I think it works really well.
Yeah. I mean, because our controls are only sure. So our
trade off with Logan.
Yeah. So how our control scheme kind of works with a phone is the fact that we only have 4 buttons on the screen. We have a left and a right and a punch and a kick. So for us, when we were originally going through this design, is kind of what's going to be the best way to play a fighting game using the least amount of buttons that we can on screen, so that your thumbs, aren't going kind of like everywhere on the screen. So I think the control scheme that we went with, I think, is pretty good, because primarily, I know it's kind of hard to do it this way, but we'll just pretend that these are my thumbs, right? And this is your left and right, where you're going to be, moving left and right, that thumb is never going to leave that spot.
Right.
It's really your punching kicks where you'll be swiping down on those to do like a stronger version of those, and then you'll just tap anywhere on that side of the screen to jump. And for the most part, you're always going to be like this, so you're not obstructing your view while playing. So you're always going to have, you're always going to be able to view the battlefield, so you're not having to just be like, and that's kind of a good point as well as when, we've gone to several different conventions with this. We've gone to local conventions here in Kansas City. We've gone to PAX. We've gone to PAX South several times. We've gone to PAX East. We've gone to Indie PopCon, which is in Indianapolis. And that was kind of the one thing that was that can potentially scare people, is it's like, oh, cool, it's a fighting game. Oh, it's a mobile game. But once they actually, who am I again? I'm Yuraku. Okay. Once you actually get into it, the controllers just make sense, and then they're like,
talking and fighting.
This is actually like quite.
Well, I think
this controller scheme actually makes sense.
Yeah, and I think, like, honestly, we designed this to be a full-fledged, classic style fighter first. We didn't, we're not trying to follow a lot of what the mobile market's become. We kind of set out to do this to make a solid game first. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit different. And yeah, pretty much everybody that's tried it out has really gotten into it. So, yeah.
It's that.
Yeah. Dash punch.
So if you were to compare our style of fighting to another existing game, how would you compare it?
The closest thing I would say is, like your Street Fighter 2 era, probably. Like Street Fighter 2 and MK2, that era of like 90s fighters. We have a pretty good amount of mechanical depth, I think, for what we're going for. There's a few touches on it that are a little modernized, I guess, here and there, but overall, it's a pretty straightforward system to get into, and every character's kind of got a nice, unique spin to their capabilities. So,
yeah, when designing, for those people who really kind of are really big into the FGC scene, and they're kind of looking at mid-maxing and hitboxes and all that. Like, what was the kind of the thought process in regards to how that was designed?
Oh man, I mean. How long do we got on stream? I took a lot of deep look at most of the major series from the 90s and early 2000s and just really got immersed in their system design, a lot of the common conventions with their frame data arrangement, and it's a lot of systems that have been pulled together, just to name a few. Obviously, like your Street Fighter, MK, King of Fighters. Looked a bit at Guilty Gear, and just really all the major franchises to kind of get a sense of how they handle different conventions and different standards, to get kind of a baseline idea of how we wanted to pursue that, and then put it together. And obviously, like, the balance is still evolving. There are more areas for refinement that I definitely want to bake in. We've talked about it before, but I have a nice massive spreadsheet that has mapped out like all these different aspects of the balance, and it just continues to evolve as we go. But yeah, it's been definitely an interesting experience, kind of finding our vibe and our setup, and getting feedback from people as well, to kind of know what areas to focus in on a bit more and refine further. So
no, Get me out of my invisibility screen.
There you go.
So one thing that
I'm
was
curious what the AI was doing while you're invisible. What's it thinking?
We could take a look at that sometime.
Yeah, but I mean, on that note, I mean, kind of, what about our AI system?
The AI, the Fourscore AI system, as we're calling it. Yeah, so that is kind of, I mentioned there's a few somewhat modern touches and to the game. And yeah, I think one pretty unique thing about Kansai Fighter is that it's debuting with our innovative new Fourscore AI system for our CPU fighters. The way the system basically works is each of the CPU fighters, as you're playing a match with them, consistently takes sort of a snapshot of where the game is at and plays through in the background all the different actions it could take in that moment. So it forecasts each one, and as it forecasts it and plays it out, it scores it. It sort of ranks it in several different categories. So by the time it's done, I have all these different actions I could take in this moment, and this is how effective I think they are based on some different metrics. And there's a process based on your difficulty and some other constraints where it will select a behavior to do, whether that be an offensive action or a defensive action. And it is doing this constantly throughout the entire match, just constantly forecasting all these. I forget the exact numbers, but I think like on our highest difficulty, we know it's simulating a few thousand game tick frames in a few milliseconds, which is a testament to like how efficient we've gotten our core loop and our mechanics to be able to do that. But the cool thing about that system, it really allows us some interesting conventions. For one thing, the AI will automatically adjust when we make balancing changes because it just sees the results of any dynamics we change with how the physics or the moves execute, or rebalancing we do in timing or damage. It just accounts for that because it's part of what gets played out when it's doing its simulations. So in that regard, it kind of saves us a lot of trouble having to kind of retune the AI as we rebalance things. It also is cool because it adapts to counteract your play style. So based on like your tactics, it will figure out some really interesting moves and combos and things to counteract what you're doing in the moment. And yeah, it's a really different approach to fighting game AI. Traditionally, a lot of fighting games just have very explicitly coded state machines for, you know, if I'm against this fighter and they're doing this thing, I'm going to do this thing. And it just becomes this big map of all these different scenarios that have to be accounted for. A lot of hand tuning and
screen versus
dual.
Don't get too close to the other one. But yeah, you can check it out for yourself if you grab the demo and hop into arcade or CPU versus mode. You can try out the Fourscore AI for yourself. See what you think.
Yeah, and actually one thing, so Sean is joining us online, or at least he's in chat. And I believe this is referencing to the question that was brought up about what's it doing when it is one word visible. And he said that we hide the location from the AI in a special way.
Correct. Yeah, so this was something I added specifically for Yuraku. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Sean. So basically, when the AI is doing those forecasts, there's sort of a concept of like what the last known state is. So during normal gameplay, that's like every time it's forecasting, it can observe what the situation is.
Damn it!
But when Yuraku's invisible, we only update that last known state when she's visible. So like the moment she was last seen is the state after which it starts forecasting its actions. If she gets hit and becomes visible, that will refresh to the most recent known state. So the AI is just as susceptible to her invisibility as other players
Mhm.
are trying to figure out what to do.
Come on. I'm just going to bring my screen with me.
Yeah.
Now she's doing the same.
Oh,
It's
you're
doing
stuck.
the thing.
Oh, dang.
You got stuck.
Yep. So, like we said previously, our game is in demo, and so we're still kind of working out things. So just keep that in mind. But actually, on
Curious
that
what
note,
that
That was cool,
was.
though.
Somebody clip that. Sean, if you're on Twitch, or Jess, if you have Twitch handy, somebody clip that, or we'll pull it up after the fact.
It's cool, though.
But yeah, I mean, if you download the demo, again, please join our Discord. We do have a kind of a feedback section for cases like that. So if you notice that there's anything that's kind of, I shouldn't probably be doing this, you can drop in screenshots, videos, anything like that in Discord to kind of help us out building that. Why don't we showcase the online matches with like mobile and PC?
Sure. Do you have the, or do you want to? Yeah, why don't you drive there and I'll hop in here. So I'm going to hop in on my phone here, and we will try an online match there.
Another thing that, again, Sean brought up way earlier, which I meant to talk about this, is when we were talking about pricing. The one thing that we do not do in regards to pricing is microtransactions.
Yeah.
Or ads. So when you play this game, you're going to be getting pretty much everything that we're going to be throwing in it.
Yep.
And so you're not having to worry about, oh, well, this fighter's behind a paywall,
Right.
or I have to, watch an ad for a certain amount of time to be able to do something. So currently, I am playing on a PC.
You know what? I'm gonna go
And
random.
Shane here is actually
I'm on my
playing
phone.
on his Pixel.
Yep.
Ow,
Ooh.
that was really loud.
Okay. You get to pick the stage.
Yeah, why don't you mention what that coin flip was?
Yeah, the coin flip is something we have in place right now where because these are just random matchups, there's no real way to pick who gets to pick the stage. So we just flip a coin during the online match to see which player gets to select the stage. So it's just randomized.
All right, Kenta v. Kiyoki.
Who is who?
I am Kenta,
I'm Kyoki, apparently. I did random.
and I am not doing well. There we go.
Ooh. Nice. Yuki's more like a gymnastic character.
Yep.
Yeah, she's definitely more on the nimble side. She's super fast. Kenta is a little bit slower, but he definitely does have the power to kind of balance that.
Yeah, these two are a good matchup because they're
so opposite. But yeah, I mean, kind of exactly what you're seeing here. So again, Shane is playing on a mobile device, and I am playing on my PC. So we do have cross play active, so that you can, no matter where you're playing, you can fight other people. You can fight your friends. You can fight random people online. And
so out of all the matches between you guys, who's won the most?
Oh, I don't know.
Is there a tally?
Logan would probably say it's him.
Right.
But
well, I don't know. I wouldn't like immediately lean towards that it's me, but I also wouldn't immediately lean towards that it's you. So let's.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping score. So.
I usually try to keep score,
Uh-huh.
but I know when we're at conventions, I do a lot better. Which, speaking of conventions, we got actually, yeah. So it was on Sunday where we've got the official yes, you're going to be a part of NakaCon again. So, yep,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
So for those of you who are in the Kansas City area, we will have a booth again in our in the gaming section of NakaCon, and there are talks that we might be joining on a panel, but that hasn't been solidified yet. Damn it.
You are talking.
Yeah, we've done a lot of conventions.
You're doing the responsible thing, Logan.
Right. But the. Oh no! No! Did I? Yeah. Okay. Good. Did I do the block? There.
Sword poke is dangerous.
Yep. I'm dead. I am dead. But yeah, so we'll be doing that for sure, which is usually a good time. And that's at least the for sure ones that we'll be going to this year. We did go to Planet Anime, which is another Kansas City convention. We might look at that again this year. That's going to depend on when, because they have not officially launched that date yet.
Yep.
Why don't let's see. When I talked previously about kind of what you're getting in the game and all that, we did talk about versus. We talked about story. We talked about arcade. We do have a pretty good training area as well. We have your traditional kind of free training, so you can pick whatever character you want, start learning their moves and all that. We also have guided tutorials. In the demo, we just have these 4.
Yep.
But once we get closer to release, we will have tutorials that are specific for characters. Mm-hmm. So if you're wanting to know their specific moves, wanting to know what their special is, that will also be here as well. But a lot of work went into all of these tutorials to kind of make sure that every mechanic and all that is well explained, and you learn it all, and then you can just kick anybody's ass because you have done the training. Let me go back into this. Why don't I'll do assignment this time? So what's really nice about the 4 characters that we have in our demo is we have two characters that are very easy to kind of get the feel of the game right away. Asamu, who I'm playing as, he's kind of our all-rounder character. His moves are primarily punch combinations, so like forward, back punch, forward, punch, and so on. So you can kind of master him pretty quickly. Same thing with Kiyoki, as opposed to punches, hers are kicks. So with these 2 characters, they're just really easy. So if you're not really big into, if you like fighting games, but like you don't think that you're the best at them, like me, as you can see, these 2 characters are definitely great kind of starter characters for that. Kenta's another really good one because he's kind of like our brawler, kind of big tanky character. So for those of you who are kind of wanting those bigger, stronger characters, I am not going to lose. Then he's definitely a good choice. And then Yuraku's definitely one of our more what's the word? I don't want to necessarily say difficult, but she's definitely has advanced. A lot more of she has a lot more options in regards to how you want to use her, because she just has a bunch of different attacks that require charges, so you kind of need to be a little bit more resourceful on how you you play with her. But those 4 characters are definitely are really great, kind of starting for if you're wanting kind of just like a little bit of a piece of each character. There are definitely character types that we have that are not that are neat aren't any one of those 4.
Yeah.
So we have a character, a Tommy, who just has a bunch of different weapons that can give him the advantage in regards to distance or up close, depending on how you play with him. He's also very quick. We have Shinrao, who's definitely kind of more on the, I would say, he's a little bit slower, but definitely he's a hard hitter. But he kind of transforms. He can definitely move around the map with his like teleportation move a lot. He can morph into different things like a big old hand that grapples you or a head that can eat you. So there's that. We also have Yasu, who is kind of, again, one of our nimble characters, but she...
He's a bit of a fan favorite, I think.
Yeah.
Conventions.
Yeah, she's definitely a lot of our conventions. She's what a lot of people like to try as because she's this sweet old lady with an umbrella. But don't let that fool you. And she could definitely bring on the pain.
Nope.
Just like, stop.
Nope.
You know, but that was perfect for Osamu, right? Because he kind of represents like the cockiness of Iyumu, and you know, maybe doing your special right from the beginning was not the smart thing to do, and so Kenta was like, yeah, no, oh, come on, no,
Oh.
What difficulty
So what's
did you put this on?
For people
normal.
joining?
Just normal.
What's
Jeez.
what's the story like in this game?
I'll recap so you can play, Logan. So yeah, this is Kansei Fighter. The premise of the game is that our lead character, Yumu, is trapped in a deep coma. And as he's trying to figure out what happened that led him to that situation, each of the fighters in the game begin to emerge. They each represent a different aspect of his personality and begin getting thrust into conflict as their world begins to fall apart. It's a traditional 2D hand-animated fighting game that is built in the vein of many classic 90s era fighters. And we currently have a demo available for you to try. If you're joining us on Steam, definitely grab the demo down below. Wishlist the game to stay tuned for more updates as we get closer to launching our early access this spring. And yeah, thanks for joining us. You made it.
I mean, I lost, so I have to.
Oh.
He lost.
I saw the arcade stat go up, and I was like, "Oh, he finally advanced." No, you did not advance. Come on,
It's one
it's
of those
on normal,
right?
It's on
Why
normal.
Why do you have to say those things?
No pressure. There you go. Oh.
That was, jeez, that's really smart. I never thought to do the rock toss and then come down with that like slam.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh no, Logan. Come on. This is like Yuraku all over again from the other stream. You got this. You got your super.
I'm not going to start because I know how that would. Oh, that was also not. A good.
I just wasted.
I know. I wasted it again. didn't make a fool of you again.
So what's that like purple knockback thing?
Yeah, so that's the burst.
We both did it.
Wow. So yeah, we have a burst mechanic where you can basically do an immediate like interrupt if your burst meter's full. That is the purple meter at the bottom of the screen. That will build as you take and block damage. And that basically makes you briefly invulnerable and will knock the opponent away from you, but it doesn't deal any damage. And you do have a period of vulnerability that follows it. So there you go.
Oh,
There, see?
nice.
Ooh,
So
he's
it's kind of
charging
a
up.
way to like get your bearings if someone's
Yeah.
putting
It's
pressure
great
on
to
them.
like
Okay.
counter a super or break a combo or get out of being cornered.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
like
kind of
that?
like how. What?
Oh
Oh,
my.
Oh,
there we go.
oh, nice.
There we go. I beat the game. But it's all right. There's still Yuraku.
Yep. You got
It's
this.
this all up.
It's
It's
this one
it's
all
the first
over
stream
again.
all over again. But well, why don't you previously I talked about there being like almost like 60 tracks for this.
Yeah.
You being I pretty sure somebody told me you're the lead composer.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's your inspiration in regards to the music and
Yeah.
all that.
So, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of music inspirations over the years. I mean, I've always done composition through the lens of game music. When I first started like dabbling with things, a lot of what I did was actually arrangements of video game music, like your classic Final Fantasies and Chrono Trigger and like a whole bunch of those series. Or anime, a few like anime themes and stuff from back in the day. A lot of the
Nice.
Ghibli soundtracks and stuff like that. So, but yeah, anyway, so kind of taking that like style into the game. Obviously, a lot of the like overarching themes in the game are more orchestral, a little dreamy or very moody. I kind of really tried to get, we've got a game that kind of features these characters that represent different emotions. So I wanted to get a lot of like kind of moody tones to that. And then for each character's like set of tracks, they all have some different tracks, like their stage theme and
Nice.
story theme and dialogue. Each one of them I tried to kind of give a little bit more of their own distinct style. So that's been a very cool experience, but also very challenging compositionally because you have to find unique styles for like a kind of a different style for each subset of tracks, subset of characters throughout the game. And yeah, I mean, like the structure of our story, we have 9 acts of the story. Yeah, there's like 60 some tracks between the different all the different moments in that. So, and Jas, I think in terms of story art, I forget the exact final tally, but we have to be upwards of 150 plus like panels just for the story like art at this point. So we've definitely put a
that's
lot
really
of work into
interesting.
that. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than a normal fighting game where it seems the fighters are fighting without much intent. There's actually a really Ayuma's story is really complex and ties into each character. Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
you can play. Speaking of story,
Yep.
In the demo, you can play the first 2 chapters.
First chapter.
First chapter.
It includes 2 encounters,
For
though.
sure.
So I'll give you,
that's
yeah.
but that's so you'll definitely kind of see what Jess is talking about in regards to, why the kind of importance and the complexity of Asamu's story.
Yep. And if you check that out in the demo, there might be a surprise appearance in that second half of the chapter with a different character that you can't play as in the demo, but might get a chance to play against. So definitely check that out.
A corrupt force lurks in a distant stronghold. Don't worry, I don't do any voices in the game, even though
This time.
I know that that's what you guys want. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and have us end this here. But hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight on another Kansai Fighter Live. Again, please wishlist the game on Steam. You can also join our Discord at the link below, or if you actually never mind. If you're watching us on Twitter, on YouTube, you should also see the links below for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, hand pink waving. It's anyways. Shut up. But thanks for joining. Again, you can find the demo on our Steam page by searching Kansai Fighter. You can follow us on Twitter /X. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever your social media platform is. We are on there. But other than that, that is pretty much all I have. Thank you again so much for joining, and we will see you all next time. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.